What they do, TNA crew? This your boy Tay, and I'm back at it with the first death battle in 2026. I'm gonna be taking a look at Bleach. I'm gonna be taking a look at Ichigo versus Yusuke. Bleach versus Yu Yu Hakusho. Damn, that's a mouthful, man. Honestly, the stories are kind of night and day in my opinion. We got two high school students who on the outside look like delinquents, but they have hearts of gold and have been blessed with like spiritual power, man. I'm not about to tell you the names because they're complicated as hell to name out. I'm gonna leave it up to Wiz and Boomstick to tell me they're about to get into it, man. But honestly, I'm gonna be honestly I was a huge Bleach fan. I have not watched the recent release of Thousand Blood War, I believe it's called. I have not watched that yet. I really have to. What I'll probably do is I'll probably rewatch the original series, and then I'll just hop straight to Thousand Year Blood War, cuz I like to binge. And honestly I don't know shit about Yusuke aside from what I've seen on I don't know much more about Yusuke beside what I've seen on Anime House thanks to RDC World. Man, but me personally, I'm gonna be rooting for Ichigo, so without further ado, let's get into it. Wow, zero build up, man. All they did was walk past each other.
Ichigo Kurosaki versus Yusuke Urameshi.
The substitute Shinigami of Bleach versus the spirit detective of Yu Yu Hakusho. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons,
armors,
armor, and skills to
see
find out who would win
a death battle.
Tell me, Boomstick, what happens when we die?
Endless nothingness? Jeez, man, I don't know. We just started.
Our souls
Way to
are
start
carried by
off
Shinigami,
morbid.
gods of death, in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth.
That was my
God,
second
I
guess.
missed the
And when
Rukia
a soul
drawings.
goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead, the Soul Society.
Works great till it doesn't. Enter Ichigo Kurosaki, whose tragic anime backstory came way too early when his mom was killed by a hollow. Reason number one why you should never want your kid to be the anime protagonist.
Left with his grief, young Ichigo was crushed under the weight of survivor's guilt.
So
I'm
he
pretty
lashed
sure his
out
father
the only way he
avenged-
knew
the
how,
father avenged
beating
him.
people
Oh,
up.
yeah.
But this wound began
is what I
to
mean
heal
by-
when he found his
this is
calling.
what I mean, like,
upon meeting a
delinquent-
Shinigami named Rukia.
I'm loving
to stop
these.
a powerful
I'm loving
hollow,
these
she
intros.
gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within.
Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute Shinigami. To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called Reishi.
Reishi,
He can wield
that's
vast
what
amounts
that's
of
what it's
spiritual
called.
energy called Ryoku and exert it offensively in the form of spiritual pressure or Reiatsu.
Okay, that's a lot of big words, but all it really means
Right?
is he's a super-powered ghost with an epic sword. His spirit aura is so strong, it can stun-lock foes, crushing them under his own power, even fatally.
He controls spirit matter in and around him, hardening his skin for defense and leaping off of invisible footholds in the air. Paired with speed-boosting skills like Shunpo, he can virtually fly.
Say goodbye to the kid who beat up bullies for their lunch money, and hello to the town's new superhero, with fellow Ghostbusters, Orihime, Chad,
Ghostbusters
and
is
Uryu,
insane.
plus Rukia. It was the
Holy
Shinigami's job to
shit.
tear hollows a new hole.
While balancing responsibilities at school, of course. GPA comes first, and maybe a round or two of tech.
But it wouldn't be possible without his Shinigami blade, a Zanpakuto. It's basically a superpowered spirit that's physically a sword. Ghost Sword!
Though strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of two distinct spirits, both named Zangetsu, which isn't confusing at all.
Just call him Old Man Zangetsu and Hollow Zangetsu. Anyway, the double Ghost Sword gives Ichigo lots of new moves, including his trademark attack. The sword beam to end all sword beams. Getsuga
Gensho,
Tensho.
yeah.
Getsuga Tensho is incredibly powerful and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants. He can fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier, and combine two at once into the even stronger Getsuga Jujisho.
To cut even the biggest hollows down to size, Ichigo was ridiculously strong, even from frame 1.
He can make giant shockwaves and parry spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande. And these aren't fake, slower-than-light lasers. Guidebooks confirm they're real light, and the novels say so too.
Plus, early on, Uryu moved so fast that he left his own shadow behind.
But as Ichigo became more involved with the Soul Society, he quickly found that he wasn't good enough.
This Byakuya guy's so
One thing I
fast,
didn't like.
Ichigo
One
can't
thing I
even
didn't like
see
about
him.
that is
Time
that he
for
kept
a
having to
good-old-fashioned
train.
training arc.
Kept having.
Hit the music.
Yeah, but there were like
Zangetsu had
multiple
operated
training
only
arcs,
in
and he had
its
to
main
train
state, Shika.
mid-arc when
So
he was in
Ichigo
action.
learned to release its inner power, a 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master.
Bankai. In Bankai, his speed skyrocketed, letting him turn the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even in Shikai, he blocked an attack that could destroy the whole frickin' Soul Society.
Because Ichigo's greatest gift is his potential to improve. Despite only being a teenager, he mastered swordsmanship well enough to thrash experts who had been training for centuries. He can quickly adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits time and time again.
Like when he took on Catboy Grimjow. He was getting clamped, but as soon as he heard Orihime cheering him on, that was all he needed to smash that kitty.
You mean Grimjow, right?
Yeah, but even with that main character energy, Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad Aizen. With just a finger, Aizen stopped Ichigo's Bankai and his theme song. Rude!
Ichigo needed to tap into his unexplained hollow power. Except Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Old man Zang's pretty chill, but this guy's a menace.
Still, Ichigo needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only
Would
grew
try that,
stronger.
Masked up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal lost limbs. But piss him off enough, and he'll go full hollow. And you really don't want that.
Hollowification exceeds even Bankai, and was enough to crush Ukiura in a battle that shook all of Hueco Mundo, the world of hollows.
Full hollow Ichigo could even tear through all 3 layers of hell.
But with help from his secret Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to train for months in the Dangai, a corridor between dimensions, until he was finally ready to challenge Aizen.
Challenge is an understatement. He manhandled
Yeah,
Aizen,
nah.
shattered mountains with sheer aura, and flexed so hard he smashed out of the black coffin. Which
Well, there was a
crushes
lot of
space
there
like
was a
mini
lot of
black
fights in that
hole.
arc,
And
so
yet,
no wonder
it still
Ichigo's
wasn't
fight.
enough.
Oh.
So by becoming Getsuga itself, Ichigo unleashed his ultimate attack, Mugetsu, defeating Aizen at the cost of all his power.
He might have saved everyone, but now it was back to Normieville.
Ichigo never truly realized until then just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive, his pride in himself was gone. He would give anything to get it back.
And he did, thanks to a surprise assist from Rukia. Boom! Shinigami again!
Just in time for a 1,000-year blood war with a final endgame boss, Yuhabak.
Who planned to end everything. And while other Shinigami tried their best, only Ichigo was special enough to pull it off.
His father was a Shinigami. His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's and possessed
That
by a
I did
Oh,
not know.
Hence, his 2 Sanbakuto spirits, one Quincy, the other Hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo
Wait,
a
is
perfect union
that's
to
why?
break Yuhabak's plan. Finally, Ichigo understood himself, fully unifying with both Zanpakuto spirits within. With that came a new Shikai and 2 new Zanpakuto.
True Shikai! If you thought Ichigo was strong before, oh boy!
And then I heard the
he's
animation was
strongest
peak as
Shinigami
hell.
alive.
I definitely
Or
gotta-
dead.
I definitely
Dead.
gotta catch
Yeah.
up.
Stronger than Kanbachi, who could split the Dangai in half. Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms. And strong enough to match Yuhabak, even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up with Soul King power, Yuhabak could nuke all 3 realms. The human world, Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo, plus the Dangai and Garganta in between, which have a bunch of pocket dimensions
God
sprinkled
damn,
in.
man.
Hell, just the
They got all
Soul
these
King's
big-ass
corpse sent a
names, hard to
shockwave
memorize.
across all the realms.
And it's not a matter of disrupting the flow of souls. Yuhabak was going to end everything through sheer power alone.
But Ichigo still wasn't done powering up.
Entering a new half-hollow form and merging his Getsuga Tensho with a mighty hollow attack, the Gran Ray Sero.
Making a giant crescent slash that rips through space itself.
All that power culminating in his true Bankai, a power so great, even Yuhabak was scared of it.
Joke's on you! Ichigo didn't even need it! You're done!
Ichigo was finally content, and 10 years later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the courage to stand on the edge of life and death, conquer his fears, and walk onward.
That was actually beautiful.
Most teenagers have no idea what they want to do with their life. However, that was hardly a problem for juvenile delinquent Yusuke Urameshi, because he only ever wanted to do one thing.
Right?
Throw hands! It don't matter who the ups are, be they women, old folk, or babies, Yusuke lived to fight. It's what gave life meaning. Who cares about stupid things like friends and family?
Which is why it was so surprising when one day he threw himself in front of a speeding car to save a child, bringing that reckless life to a screeching halt.
Truck-kun claims
Oh.
another victim.
But this is chapter 1 of a battle shonen, so death is hardly the end.
Surprisingly, though, it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This was Botan, whose job was to ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, he was such an asshole that the underworld didn't see his selfless death coming and didn't have any space prepared for him. Imagine
Whoa.
being such a menace
That's
to society
crazy.
that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with its pants down.
So the underworld surrogate king, Koenma, offered Yusuke an alternative. He could return to life as an agent of the afterlife, a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally, Yusuke did what anyone would do in that situation,
Hey.
and told Satan Jr. to stuff it! I mean, he was never really
Oh.
good for anything, and no one was gonna miss him, so what's the point of coming back to life? It's not like his mom would be sad, or his childhood sweetheart Keiko would be heartbroken, or even
wow.
his rival Kuwabara would shed
Wow, his
deadly
rival
tears.
gave a shit
Oh,
about
man.
him?
At the sight of
Damn.
loved ones who cared far more than he ever expected, Yusuke had a change of heart and accepted Koenma's offer, returning to life with a new purpose and a new job.
And newfound ass-kicking ability. In his quest to beat the dog shit out of demonkind, Yusuke learned to harness Reiki, or spirit energy. He's ridiculously strong, fast, and durable, heals from wounds quickly, and can see spirits invisible to mortal men.
Even early on, Yusuke could parry Suzaku's lightning arrows, which are formed from real lightning called down from the sky. And with the help of legendary warrior Genkai, he mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to smithereens.
My favorite shonen move ever, the Spirit Gun. At first, Yusuke had a limited number of shots, but
I need to
eventually
watch
he turned
this.
it into his
I
personal
need to watch
WMD. Stronger than any weapon on Earth, he could go finger blasting around as much as he wants.
The spirit gun is more versatile than it appears. Yusuke can bounce it off surfaces for sneak attacks, propel himself around like a rocket in flight, and produce massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up for a spirit shotgun.
I remember in
a
Dragon
mighty
Ball when
AoE
Goku can
blast,
fly
or a
yet,
spirit
he would
punch
use the
where he keeps
Kamehameha
the
as a
energy
fucking
stored in his
rocket.
fists and clobbers the hell out of you. And the spirit wave, a Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
Yusuke may be a punk, but he's deceptively skilled and cunning in battle.
He's not afraid to fight dirty, throwing his shoes, using sleight of hand to place cigarettes on his foe to track them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call that
fuck
smart.
that.
And his
Nah,
hand-to-hand
fuck
is a
that, man.
plus.
If you guys-
He's matched experts like
Just saying, man,
Kabata,
if you're living
who's
in
said
a
to
world
master
where
all
people
forms
have
of martial
supernatural
combat.
strength,
But his best secret is how quickly he
I don't give a
improves.
damn if
All
it's
it
dirty,
takes
I'ma
is a round
survive.
of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger enemies, even if it means literally burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All known demons and demon fighters are individually ranked on a scale of power from E to S.
E and D class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best. C and B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way. A and S? Well, hold on to your ass. We're talking end of the world.
Hey.
As
that's
Yusuke
so
forged bonds with new allies, like demons Hiei and Kurama, as well as his old pal Kuwabara, he found himself facing opponents he couldn't beat, such as the monstrous Toguro, who could vaporize weaker demons and crush
Why
their
does
souls
his body
with
look
sheer
like? Why
aura.
the
But
fuck does his
Yusuke
body look
needed
like
to
that?
survive and protect his loved ones. So he had no choice but to rank up, even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks, Genkai!
Our sun has an average luminosity of 380 septillion watts, or joules per
What the-
second.
what is
Small
a
stars like red
septillion?
dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Enough to send Toguro to the grave.
Even after pushing past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face S-class threats like Sensui, a past spirit detective gone bad, and a great measuring stick for what top-tier demons are capable of.
Sensui was
I
so
like that.
yoked, he couldn't even use all his power in the human
fresh-
world
no
without
fresh
threatening
meat
to break
fighting-
down the whole thing.
no fresh
He
meat
compared
fighting,
destroying the whole
going down
goddamn
veteran who lost his
planet
way.
to kicking an anthill.
According to Genkai, Yusuke could destroy the planet too, if he really wanted. And even A-class threats like King Enma have shaken both the demon and human worlds.
That anima guy is strong as balls.
Did he
In
just
the
say
past,
anima?
he fought the Netherworld King Yakumo, who could eradicate the entire human world and remake the Netherworld.
But Yusuke's power surpassed both of them to the point where he overloaded Yakumo with his own energy. And do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-classes like Sensui, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker, because turns out Yusuke was a demon himself.
Literally. Yusuke is the descendant of an ancient and incredibly powerful being, one of the strongest
course.
in existence, Ryzen, the Demon King.
With his Bazoku
course,
mark,
man.
Yusuke
They
can
always gotta
channel
be-
Ryzen's
but they always
spirit
gotta
for a
be,
huge power boost and a massive
They always
thirst
gotta
for
be
murder
crossbreeds,
boost. This
man.
was his first taste of a dangerous new type of spirit energy, Yoki.
A form of energy used by demons. Like normal Reiki, it can be amplified by intense emotions. Unlike normal Reiki, its use creates a pleasurable feeling, feeding into the user's rage and bloodlust, the feral animal within.
So Yusuke upgraded his spirit gun to a demon gun. It's the same thing, but red. Oh, and it's strong enough to blast Sensui past the horizon,
I was about
putting
to say,
Yusuke's
man.
power firmly in S-class.
And making him a prime candidate to rule the demon world. But as he was thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was what he really wanted.
Self-reflection? From I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi? Nah, we can worry about that later. There's a tournament to win. Which one of you, girl, baby, or grandparents is first?
Even then, as Yusuke took on the Demon King Yomi in an epic final battle, he was still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even achieving a unique version of the Mozoku form separate from Ryzen's influence.
And a brand spanking new form of power. Kinda like Sensui's sacred energy, but even better. It's so unprecedented, it doesn't even have a name, but it's golden glowy.
Strong enough to clash with Yomi, creating an explosion that split the heavens above and decimated the Okunin tree below, pushing the Demon King himself to his absolute limits.
But then, Yusuke lost. It's not all bad though. Even if being king would have been cool, Yusuke realized he wanted something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always Yusuke's connections with others that motivated him above all else. And it was in those connections that he found his happy ending.
But I wouldn't piss him off if you can avoid it. Get him in the right mood or threaten the human world, and the spirit detective will beat your stupid ass.
Nah, I'm still rooting for Ichigo.
Long has its return been foretold, but now, finally, it is reborn.
The original Death Battle shirt that once dominated the world. Hell yeah, there's no better way to wear a blood spatter on your chest.
We've restored the original shirt with even
Oh,
better
yeah,
materials,
they did.
and it's available now on deathbattle.gg.
Oh yeah, it's less.
That's our
oh,
website.
yeah, the
That's
logo's
also
less
kind of like a
edgy
Patreon.
now.
There's a bunch of other merch there, like this
can't
awesome
blame
Mega
them. I mean,
Goose hoodie.
like,
Just don't let the
YouTube.
gooses get it.
Website members can also see the entire Death Battle archive, including episodes that were banned from YouTube.
And even more behind the scenes
Really?
goodies. Like, did you know our research team wrote up a massive blog all about the science of Ash versus Yugi? Wait, I lied. They wrote up two.
Click the link below to support the show, look behind the scenes, and get cool merch at deathbattle.gg. All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a
Death
battle!
Like zero build up. All they did was walk past each other.
That's a demon.
That's a hollow.
No doubt about it. Spirit guide! Getsuga, Tensho!
Hold on, can you just destroy Ichigo's bot? Can you just destroy Ichigo's bot? Oh yeah, I can deflect. Cheap shot! That's so good.
Hollow. Chop change. Reckless idiot! What a baby! Little demon energy got you scared? Nah.
Getsuga! Yujisho!
Two at once? Damn, why didn't I think of that?
Ain't no way.
Give in to me, Yusuke. Let's devour him together.
Hell no! This is my fight, jackass! You just hold me back!
Yeah, come on, Ichigo. Come on, you got this, fool. You got this.
Yeesh, rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner?
Let's do it. Like old times.
On! Cut! Tensa! Sangetsu!
Hold on, where the hell are they now? It's like they're on fucking madness.
Is that the best you can do? I can go even faster if you'd like. Hell yeah! Bring it on, asshole! I'll kill you even if it kills me! I'm putting it all on the line! You better do the same! Screw that! Give me a freaking break.
I don't think.
See you on the other side.
Nice!
Heyo! You, think the afterlife offers frequent flyer miles?
There's a lot to cover here, so let's break this down into 4 chapters, starting with their abilities.
Yusuke could see Ichigo no problem, and resist auras like Toguro's that are similar to Reiatsu, so Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched. Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing factor, greater stamina given his months of Dangai training.
And all those swords.
I mean,
He
shit, I
just
thought he
had
would have lost
way
an
more
arm and
abilities to
then
play
go with
with.
that.
Likewise, speed was a fairly easy call. Yusuke could react to lightning early on, and obviously got much faster over time. Looking at this blast from his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo was faster than light from the start, and he's gotten faster too. He couldn't even see Byakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch. Plus, he's got tons of training and power-ups since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed, and Ichigo reacted to attacks from Soul King Yuhabak that utilized the same power. So, Ichigo takes speed. But Yusuke's fought plenty of foes faster and more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt mid-fight.
This is kind of both
Yeah.
their things. Ichigo has styled on guys with centuries of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami. He's pretty good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match Kabano, who mastered
Bro,
every
hold on,
martial
man.
art. Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand, but it's
Like,
not
did he
his go-to
like
in the
did he
same
punch
way.
Ichigo in the balls?
Both had their
Is that
strong
what
suits
happened?
with advantages on each side. It's fair to call this one a draw.
Leaving only the biggest winning factor, which could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Between Sensui, Genkai, and Enma, Yusuke could definitely destroy the planet. Examining his sky-splitting clash
but
with Yomi
he
and measuring
wasn't
its
trying to-
scale,
he wasn't
that's
trying to
about
do that
4 quadrillion megatons of TNT, which is crazy.
Similarly, mid-series Ichigo could shake Huecomundo, tear through hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yuhabak, who could destroy several realms, which is far more impressive than just one.
To be fair, Yusuke also beat Yakumo, who could threaten 2 realms at the same time, pretty close to Yhwach's threatening 3.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo afterward. The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3 realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo, it's not.
I was about to say,
Yhwach was
isn't it
also going to destroy the
I was
Garganta,
about to say, isn't
which
it
has at least
multiple realms?
29 pocket dimensions inside it.
Each containing at least a planet and star, much larger than Yusuke's planet-sized worlds. Plus, Ichigo matched Yhwach in True Shikai, without his additional boost from Half Hollow and True Bankai.
As always with Death Battle, there's arguments either way. But the way we see it, even being generous with Yusuke's power and conservative with Ichigo's, the gap was just too big, giving Ichigo the final edge.
God
So,
damn!
things got messy, but that's just how Ichigo's.
The winner
That was-
is
that
Ichigo
was
Kurosaki.
Next time on Death Battle.
Who got fighting? Metal Sonic versus Cell?
Subscribe
Oh,
and
hell
join as a
yeah, we
member
got
to
it.
see
Oh, hell
more
yeah,
Death
we're
Battle.
watching that.
Thanks for watching.
Oh hell yeah, man! We're definitely gonna watch that, man. But anyway, that was it, man. The most merciful death in Death Battle, because usually when the fights end, I mean, like there's not even a body left. The fact that Ichigo like did a swift did like a swift cut to Yusuke and let him rest peacefully. That does say a lot about his character, man. But that was it, though. That was a good battle. Good battle. I didn't want to talk a lot during Ichigo's bio, man. But I really felt it. Like I really felt that he was gonna win this. And then I don't know, y'all probably saw it in my face, or y'all probably just skipped to the part where they actually fight, man. But I was really resonating with my choice in Ichigo and believing with him. But I do want to watch I do want to watch Yu Yu Hakusho. I do want to watch that, so I might actually watch that in a couple of days, man. But that was it, though. That was my reaction, man. Let me know in the comments who you were rooting for. And until next time, this has been your boy Tay, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.